Hey, what's up, guys? So, I know it's been about a week or two since I've done my last video. Um, just been busy, honestly. Trying to get things, ready with kids for school and all that. Um, I was taking a quick break. I know it's late at night, but it seems like this is my new sleep schedule. But I just wanted to get on here and, oh, bad day. Bad day, bad week, really, for wrestling fans. And losing Terry Funk. I mean, losing Terry Funk, it is sad because he's such a revolutionary person with the industry. You know, the extreme aspect, the whole ECW revolution that he had set up, like he helped bring the company and bring it up off the ground. But then Bray Wyatt passed away, or Wyndham Rotunda, and that was such a shock, and it really was. You know, no one really knew, like fan wise and news wise, what the extent of his actual medical illness was, because everyone thought that it was either mental or it was just some kind of thing because Vince was coming back to sell the company, or the new run, like the new storyline that he was running, like with Uncle Howdy and everything like that, was just so damn stagnant that they had to come up with a reason for him to be on TV. And then it comes to light on what really was going on, you know, contracting COVID, exacerbated a heart condition that he had, and ultimately passed away at the very young age of 36, a year younger than me. And it was just, you know, I've had the opportunity to meet, befriend some, talk to a lot of wrestlers. You know, past wrestlers, present wrestlers. And, you know, I came across Wyndham a few times. At a few places. Well, mainly where, I mean, his dad was wrestling, he was there, but he really wasn't. I mean, I guess you could say he was, you know, he was, you know, training and everything of that nature from what I saw. Every time I ever came across him, he was never on the card. He was there, but he was never wrestling. But he was such a genuinely cool guy, you know. He was really nice, really down to earth. Talked to him forever, and you know, I mean, same with his dad. His dad seems like a complete dick on the TV, but he's not. You know, the Wyndham family are a great family. I've had the opportunity to meet a few of them, to talk to them, and you know, it doesn't surprise me seeing all these tweets and messages and everything of just how great of a guy he was, how much people loved him. Just from like the 2 or 3 times I came across him, and it did hurt my feelings. It broke my heart. You know, people are like, why do celebrities make people so sad when they die? Well, you know, for me, I don't get necessarily sad at celebrities passing away. I mean, I do, because it's sad when someone passes away that, you know, how can I say this? That, you know, did deserve that time, I guess you could say. I mean, yes, I know everybody dies, but, you know, why can't we all be like 300 years old and do it? But, you know, there's just certain people that you never know, that you see on TV and everything, And I've had people make fun of me for liking wrestling. You know it's scripted. You know it's not real. It's like, well, you do know NASCAR only makes 95% of the time make left turns, and people worship that shit. And HRA, they drive straight for 3 seconds at the highest speed. You know, or soccer's just a bunch of guys running around kicking a damn ball, and that's like one of the top grossing sports on this planet. Golf, you hit a little ball with a stick 350 yards and hope that you put in a little gopher hole. Yes, the wrestling is scripted. Yes, it's predetermined. Yes, it's... I mean, yeah, if they were beating the hell out of each other like they were, they're like the punches and the kicks, yeah, there would be marks and stuff. Yeah, sometimes they do lay in a real good chop, but, you know, these guys, look at it from a standpoint of a boxer or like an MMA fighter, like UFC fighter. Those guys fight maybe twice a year. You know, maybe once, maybe twice a year. And that's because of the damage. Well, I was laying on the couch right now. She hasn't been feeling too good. But, you know, from the complete and utter brain damage and force that those guys deal with in a fight, be it goes 1 round to like however many rounds box, like 12, to the 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 rounds in UFC or MMA. You have to put in the aspect of, yeah, those guys were really hitting each other and everything like that. Then you look at the wrestlers, you know, taking a backdrop from when I trained to try and train. Taking a backdrop does not feel good. When you're like 6 feet, like 5, 6 feet off the ground, and then you land flat on your back on a boards that has a mat like this big protecting you, it doesn't feel too pleasant. You know, they do that 300 days a year or more, well, depending on who you are. Because you're like, oh, it's not that much. It's only 52 weeks. It's like 52 shows. No. You have the Monday shows. You have the, what's NXT Wednesday, Friday, which is SmackDown. Then you have the weekend shows, which are either a pay-per-view or a premier live event, is what they're calling now, or house shows, which is a show that, yes, there's a camera there, but it's not televised, which me and Andy have been to a couple of them. And, you know, there's been a few deaths that have happened in my life that have not been like family and friends that have hurt. That made me sad, like truly sad. Like Owen Hart was definitely one of them. Brian Pillman, Eddie Guerrero was one, because, and then, you know, Bray Wyatt, and then Brody Lee. You know, I followed these guys' career from, you know, Eddie Guerrero when he was in ECW, you know, Brian Pillman when he was in WCW, or when he was in Stampede Wrestling in Calgary, or, you know, Owen Hart when he was the Blue Blazer, debuting as a Blue Blazer in WrestleMania, you know, WWE. And then Brody, you know, when he was wrestling in Combat Zone, Pro Guerrilla Wrestling, JCW, you know, shit like that, like those organizations. And then Bray was like FCW, NXT, and I met him before he was truly, like before he was Husky Harris. Like I met him before he was known as Husky Harris. And, you know, and Eddie, I mean, it's just like, and Terry Funk's death made me sad, don't get me wrong. It's just, you knew it was coming, because man was almost 80. He had a mountain of health problems and everything. Bray Wyatt was younger than me, and he had a heart attack, and they were talking about him coming back like next week at the pay-per-view. So it 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 pales to hurt. It really does. You know, my heart goes out to his family, his friends, his fans. Um, you know, both him and Terry. You know. And, you know, I mean, Aiden took it hard. Because Aiden is a huge fan of wrestling. I mean, he's still relatively new. He's still learning it. And I'm teaching him what I know. And, you know, you can tell he's really upset. Because I got a message from him, I think it was Robin's brother. And I thought it was fake. I was like, I'm going to click on this and it's going to be a rickroll. Because it's... And it was legit. I pulled up, Triple H's Twitter. I don't go to like TMZ or shit like that. I go to the direct WWE thing, and directly right there on WWE, Bray Wyatt passed. Wyndham Rotunda passed away, and I'm like, damn, you know. And you know, we always, me and Aiden will always talk about wrestling. And this is sad, you know. Bray Wyatt was one of those one-in-a-lifetime wrestlers that really can captivate you. I mean, you got, like, you look at like Bruno, and even before Bruno, you had Ed Strangler Lewis or Jim Landis. Then you had like before them, you had George Axel at Great Gotch. But then you had the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Then you had, you know, you had Nick Bockwinkel, you had Magnum TA, you had Ric Flair, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Sting, Taker. You know, you have these wrestlers that, you know, can transcend a certain aspect of professional wrestling. And, you know, and Bray Wyatt was one of those rare ones that Wyndham, to me, was the perfect person for whatever they were trying to accomplish with that whole thing. Because, you know, from when he debuted with the Wyatt family, you know, him, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper or Brody. And then it transcended and brought in Braun Strowman. And then, you know, they kind of like, they fudged with it a little bit. They, you know, kicked this person out, had Randy Orton come in, or Daniel Bryan come in, and then I think Bray got injured and it completely broke up the Wyatt family, you know. And, you know, then Bray Wyatt would come back after injury or something like that, and he was the Ear of Worlds, and then he was tag teaming with Matt Hardy when Jeff, like, did another, like, stint in rehab, you know. And then he left again for character development for that what he was making. And and it was like when it broke that he was working with Tom Savini for bringing for the next run. But me and Rob were like, ooh, what? Because we're a big fan of Tom Savini. You know, always worked with George A. Romero and in horror movies in general. You know, some big names that work with Tom Savini. You know, like some like Mushroomhead has worked with Tom Savini before. Corey Taylor from Slipknot, Tech 9, you know, and, you know, like some of these bands and artists that use masks have gone through Tom Savini when they were able to, and then Bray Wyatt did, worked with Tom Savini and like an apprentice of Tom Savini, especially for the belt, the Fiend belt. He came back as the Firefly Funhouse and then the Fiend, and then when the Fiend debuted at SummerSlam against Finn, it was like, whoa, he just completely different. And then when he wrestled as the Firefly Funhouse Bray, it's like he was like going in and out, like the part was going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and everything. And then they killed any momentum because of fucking Goldberg. And then because Fiend was like running through people, and then Goldberg stops him like Goldberg's the pinnacle of male. And then like when they bitched Brock Lesnar out after like so many, like I can't remember, it was like 2 minutes or something. And then, sorry, Sons of Anarchy. And then, he came back after, I think it was like during, had COVID happen, the pandemic, and they did the Thunderdome stuff, and the last feud that he had as that was with Randy. And then they had the WrestleMania where there was very few people with the Alexa Bliss thing. The way that ended, they had basically the last match for that Bray Wyatt was a loss at WrestleMania. And then he was been gone. But the thing is, during this aspect is when Bray Lee passed away, and mentally he was just done. And that was like one of his best friends. You could tell it hurt Bray. It really did. And when he came back as like the Uncle Howdy type Bray Wyatt, and all that, and he was being Wyndham as Bray Wyatt, no one knew what to expect. And to me, it was stagnant. I mean, the story was becoming amazingly good. Then they had that pitch black match because it was a sponsored match, which to me helped transcend LA Knight completely. But because that really showed his mic skills. That really showed his ability to work with someone with the caliber of Bray Wyatt, who at the time was like a 3-time heavyweight champion and multiple tag team champion and everything. And Bray Wyatt was so far from being done with his career. I mean, if the health issues would have still kept up, he would have been done, because they become a liability, And like I was telling Robin, it is sad that he passed away, but I think it would have messed with everybody if it would have happened in the ring. Like if it would have went undetected and but it's sad. It really is. It really is. And I'm gonna miss the Bray Wyatt character, the anticipation of returns, his entrances, his promos, his abilities. And that cowboy, as Cody Rhodes put it on SmackDown, we lost 2 in less than 24 hours of each other, and then it'll probably be a while before there's another one, to be honest with you. And, yeah. Oh, and Bob Barker passed away. But he was like almost 100 years old, so, you know, he lived a very full, fruitful life, and, you know, heart and condolences go out to his family as well, and his fans. But I think I talked about this long enough. I just wanted to make a video, you know, and I'll be doing more wrestling themed videos. I love wrestling. Be sports themed, mainly football, baseball, and racing, motorsports like NASCAR, NHRA. Yeah, I may have talked crap about them, but I still watch them. I mean, it's, you know, it's like in video games and movies and TV shows and all that, with the family as well. But everyone's in bed. I mean, it's almost 2:30 in the morning. My sleep schedule is all jacked, so yeah. So with all that being said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending this past 20-some minutes with me as I make this video. And tell me in the description what celebrity passing affected you the most and why. But once again, rest in peace to Mr. Bob Barker. Rest in peace to the legendary Terry Funk, and definitely rest in peace to the already legendary Bray Wyatt. And God bless God bless their families and their friends, their loved ones, their fans. And yeah. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget to share my channel so people can see my content. And that's it. Love you guys. God bless.